another concept is there, amalgamation of trade unions, that is given under Chapter 3 of the Trade Unions Act. Okay. So this provision is usually allowed, whether it's even in case of like a partnership. Okay, if there are 2-3 partnerships, they can decide to come together and form one partnership business. Same applies for companies also. If there are 2-3 companies, they all can decide to come together and be like one company. So same applies for trade unions also. Amalgamation of trade union, that is provision or the formalities are been mentioned under Chapter 3 of Trade Unions Act. Okay, so amalgamation of trade union, as we know, it basically means merger of 2 or more trade unions into one trade union. So rather than having 2-3 trade unions for the same purpose, let's come together and be one strong union of more members. Sections 24 to 26 of Trade Unions Act, it talks about all the detailed provisions, procedure, formalities that we need to follow for amalgamation of trade unions. Section 24 of the said act makes provision for amalgamation. Section 25 lays down the process, and section 26 speaks about effect of amalgamation. What will happen once 2 or more trade unions come together and form one union? So what will happen to their rights or liabilities? Will they remain as it is, or what will happen? Okay. Is this part clear?
Yes, madam.
So definition of trade union, again, we get it in the legislation itself, right? So this definition, you can look at it, and then amalgamation of trade union definition also. Okay, the section 2H of the legislation. Section 2H of the legislation provides for definition of the term trade union also. Now, what is amalgamation of trade union? It means 2 or more registered trade unions may become amalgamated together as one trade union with or without dissolution or division of funds of such trade union, or either or any of them. So if there are 2 or more trade unions, they can come together and decide to form one trade union. Whether they are properly dividing their funds or not, that does not matter. But one condition that has to be satisfied is that at least one half of the members of concerned trade union must participate and vote for amalgamation. So at least one half of the members should participate and vote. It should not be only few members were present on a certain day and they have taken the decision. One half of the members should be present and participate in this voting process for amalgamation, and at least 60% of the votes recorded are in favor of the proposal. So how many of our members have given vote, whether it's 50%, 60%, 90%, 100%, out of that total participating members, at least 60% of the votes should be positive in favor of amalgamation. So that is a requirement which needs to be satisfied. That basically boils down to that the majority of the people should be in favor of the amalgamation. It should not be that few people wanted to just join another trade union. That should not happen. But it should be a decision taken by the majority. Procedure for amalgamation. Section 25 of Trade Unions Act lays down the procedure for amalgamation of trade unions. According to this section, a notice in writing as to the change of name after amalgamation has to be served as follows. So notice has to be given that by combining these 2 or more trade unions, we are forming this new trade union. That has to be done. So notice has to be served by secretary and 7 members of the trade union to registrar of trade union, because they should also be informed. As we have seen, registrar would be maintaining a register wherein all the details, names, addresses, and stuff of the trade union would be registered, right? So when they have decided to amalgamate, then they need to inform the same to registrar of trade union as well, so that he can make changes in the register accordingly. If the head officer of trade union are located in another state, then notice has to be served to registrar of that state or states as well. So accordingly, they will serve the notice and inform the register that we are making changes in name, and these all details we are making changes. What will happen when two or more trade unions come together to form one? What are the effects of amalgamation? So section 26 provides for the effects, and it says change of name of a registered trade union does not affect rights and obligations of the trade union. Simply because you have changed your name, it does not mean that your rights and your obligations will just disappear. Whatever obligations you were having, those you will continue to have, or render defective any legal proceeding by or against the trade union. If there was some legal case pending, that case also will continue in the same way. It's not that you will be given relaxation from those liabilities, whether it's by or against. If you have filed a case, you can continue the same. If a case was filed against the trade union, that also will continue in the same way. Similarly, rights and obligations of trade union will also remain same. If they had certain rights, those rights will remain as it is. Those rights cannot be taken away from them just because they have changed their name or they just formed one union. That would not happen. This is clear, right? Amalgamation of Trade Union, chapter 3.
Yes, madam.